I was. Oh my god, I was unmuted. I was not. I was muted for the whole time. Oh my god, I'm a fucking idiot, bro. Hello everyone. Oh my god. Okay, so this is not funny at all. Hello everyone. Sally! Oh my god. Hi, Sally. Wait, I can't see you. Hey. Is my chat not working? No! I know I changed. I'm using Streamlabs today. I can't. Oh no. I can't see my chat. No, the scuff. This is so not funny, bro. Okay, wait, I need to pull out my what's it called? My phone. I need to moderate from my phone. Sorry, I'm working, so I'll be off and on. No problem, Sally. Take your time. You are not obligated to chat in my streams. You can just lurk and be happy and fun. Oh my god. Okay, wait, let me... Where's my... My chat's not appearing! No. It's fine. I'll just pog through the pain. Okay, so today we're going to be recapping the lore of Five Nights at Freddy's. And if you don't know what Five Nights at Freddy's is, this is gonna be a very interesting approach. Okay. Oh no. I can't undo anymore. It's my eraser. Oh. Wait. Can I be honest? I've never used Photoshop before. I don't know why I decided to use it. You know what? Wait. Can I do that? Oh no. Okay. Huh? No, I don't want to fill it. I just want to get rid of it. is it filling? I hope you have fun with the dang recapping. Oh my god. I will, silly. Okay. No, no, I don't want. I'm sorry for the scuff. Oh my god. How do I come? I can't. Oh, ah! What do I do? Also, if any of you are wondering why I'm back to being a PNG tuber, it's because I forgot to save my PSD, my model. It's gone forever. Well, it's not gone. I just don't have the Live 2D rigged. Oh my god, how do I... Huh? What do I do? I can't see the end of the horizon. Hatsune Miku. You know what? Oh no, wait. Oh, there we go. Now how do I... Wait, I'll just make a new layer. I'll delete this layer. Can I delete that layer? Oh wait, I can't. Yeah! Let me just... deselect? Oh, what's going on there? Yeah, okay, no. Wait, why is... It's fine. Oh wait, I'm just checking chat. FNAF... Did it autocorrect into dang? That's crazy. Oh my god. I think I might have to change. I can't use Photoshop. I'm bad at using Photoshop. It's fine. Okay, wait, never mind. We're pogging through the pain. I need to learn how to use Photoshop anyway. Okay, so... Oh my god. Where's my pressure? There we go. So FNAF. Let's... Where do I start? Okay, let's start with like the very beginning. So, first of all, we need to... The man behind the slaughter. There we go. This is... Who is this? Wait, William Afton. Why did I forget? Okay, so this is William Afton. And he has a son who is also purple. But we'll make him a different purple. We'll make him this purple. This is his son, who is also an adult. He's also angry. There we go. This is William Afton. That one's purple. God damn it. This one is Michael Afton. This one is William Afton. Then we have Elizabeth. Who is this little girl with the pigtails? There we go. We've got Elizabeth Afton. EA Sports. Then we have, oh wait, where's my tab? Oh, there it is. Okay, I found it. We're back. Then we have the crying child. This is how I'm like really despaired. There we go. This is Crying Child. Does he have a name? People have suspected his name to be Greg for reasons that I will get into later. But right now, we'll call him Crying Child, CC. And then we have the wife, which is William's wife. I'll put her in blue because, yeah, I feel like blue would be. Would blue be the best suited color? I don't know. I feel like, yeah. Okay, so we've got the wife, who I think has a bun, which I will also explain later. I'll put a bun. Her hair in a bun. There we go. This is the wife, which is not named, but I'm pretty sure the fandom has called her. Wait, not Carla. Oh my god, wait, I forgot. I need to. I'm searching it up. William Afton's wife. What's her name? Clara! Not Carla. It's Clara Afton. So her name is Clara Afton. So here, we've got the Aftons, if it wasn't obvious. How do I color pick? No, I want to color pick. I forgot how to color pick, guys. Oh, there we go. There we go. And this is kind of our main family characters, as far as I remember. Okay. Yes. So, the story is, wait, I need to, oh god, god damn it. Oh wait, there is an eraser. There we go. New layer. And get rid of that. So the story follows. Wait, he's still happy here. It's just a maniacal evil genius. The story follows William Afton, who's obsessed with this bear. How do you draw a bear? Does this look like a bear to you, chap? I have no idea. I'm too lazy to get a PNG of a bear. He was obsessed with this bear. It's just a random bear. It's not even like Freddy Fazbear. It's like a random bear. Random bear from a random circus. Also, this is his, when he was a child, he was like idolizing this bear as a child, which is kind of crazy. version. There we go. So he was obsessed. He loved this good bear, and he wanted to, what's it called? I forgot what it's called. So basically, he just wanted to recreate this as a career. It's his passion. He loves this bear and wants to bring it to life, but in a way, not using actual. God damn it! I'm so tired. I literally was at uni from 8 to 7, and it was so hot today too. I was sweating the whole day. Let me check chat real quick. Oh, so your art is so comfy. Ah, thank you. I don't know how to respond to compliments, so if you hear me just do random sounds, just know that I'm very flattered. Huh? Oh. Oh wait. What am I doing? So basically, William Afton, he's obsessed with a bear, and he wants to build a business off of it. So he makes these characters who are basically the same characters as the bear. Oh wait, was the bear? I think the bear was like part of a show. I'm not sure if it was a show or a circus, but I forgot. It's fine, it's fine. Yeah, but basically, they're like characters. The bears are characters. And he wanted to recreate it into his own thing. So William Afton, when he's older, he made like a really— oh my god, can you even see it? Can you see that? I'm not sure if you can see that. Let me change it. Let me change the color into a duller. Yeah, I think you can see that better. Basically, he made his own characters, which are really close to getting a copyright strike, but they're just different enough that the law just like, yeah, that's fine. So he makes this bear character, and his name, Freddy, or like Fredbear. Freddy Fredbear. Oh wait, Freddy Fazbear. Fazbear. And then he also... oh, sorry, that was a random motorcycle. He also made this rabbit thing with a purple bow tie. Oh no. Wait, how do I redo it? There we go. This is Bonnie. Well, like the early versions of Bonnie, which is later known to be Springtrap. This was really confusing, to be honest. I don't remember much myself. But yeah, basically, this is Freddy. Wait, he also had a bow tie. It was black though. So basically the hat. is black. And he also had a bow tie that is black. And he has a mic. Yeah. That's Freddy Fazbear. And this, I think it was Bonnie? I don't remember. Bonnie. Question mark. So he creates these and he builds a family pizza diner called Freddy Fazbear's Pizzeria. We all know and love this pizzeria. Freddy Faz. Wait, was it Freddy Fazbear's Family Diner first? I don't remember. Oh no! I'm not a real FNAF fan, guys. I'm actually a fake. I don't remember how many toes Springtrap had. Okay, so this is Freddy Fazbear's Family Diner? I'm pretty sure it was Family Diner first. Family Diner. And William. Wait. Hold on. Where's William's color? Wait. Stop. I need William's color. There we go. And he's standing all proud, admiring his work. There, Freddy Fazbear's Family Diner. This is the first pizzeria in our saga. Oh. And like, he's really proud of it. Not because... well, also because like, he worked really hard on it. And I don't know. He's just really proud of it, you guys. He's an entrepreneur. He's a mad genius or something. And like, during this era of FNAF, not FNAF. During this era of pizzeria, the Family Diner. Wait, oh god. I should chat more. Tomasius. I'm sorry, I can't. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name. I can't speak Spanish, but the only word that I understand is afton. So yes, afton. Wait, I should Google Translate this. Hold on. Google Translate. Oh, who is Afton? Okay, so Afton is kind of like our main character, who is also the main antagonist of Five Nights at Freddy's. So basically, Five Nights at Freddy's, it's telling the story of the Aftons. Wait, which Afton are you referring to? Because Afton is... wait, where's my... Afton is... an entire family. So we have our main guy, William Afton, who is the antagonist. Then we have Michael Afton, who is his son, and he kind of resents him, which I'll get into later. We have Crying Child. We don't know his name, but I'm pretty sure some people started calling him Greg because of the correlations he has with Gregory from Security Breach. Yes, but for now we're just gonna call him Crying Child because I'm not sure. Then we have William Afton's wife, Clara Afton. And then his youngest daughter. Wait, was it his youngest? I don't remember. But he has a daughter, and her name is Elizabeth, who turns into Circus Baby from Sister Location. Okay, wait. Where's my hairs? I think I need to explain like a whole new thing. Wait. Okay, so Circus Baby, this is... Oh no, that's not what I meant to do. Where's my brush? So basically, Michael Afton... No, not Michael Afton. I'm talking about William Afton. William Afton, he basically kind of went crazy. I don't understand anything but thank you. I'm sorry, Thomas. This is really... FNAF is like really weird. Like I watched Game Theory Ultimate Timeline yesterday. It was like an hour and 30 minutes long. And like even that still has like some plot holes. So this is all just speculation. Every single thing that you see here, I'm pretty sure hasn't been 100% confirmed in the canon of Five Nights at Freddy's. Oh my god, sorry. My cables. I need to order them. No, not order. Organize them. Okay. So William Afton. I'm just gonna skip to the good parts. William Afton, he went crazy. Not crazy, because Circus Baby, which I'll draw very badly, an animatronic, in case you guys didn't know. Wait. In Spanish, please. I don't understand. I'm sorry. I have zero knowledge on Spanish. I only know really basic things because I used to watch Dora the Explorer. That's how limited my knowledge in Spanish is. And like it's been years since I watched Dora. So the only thing I know is Hola, gracias. That's it, I'm sorry. No, it's fine. It's okay. I'm sorry, I still can't pronounce your name, so for now I'm going to call you Thomas. Okay. So like William Afton, he went crazy. Not I don't know why I keep saying he goes crazy, but he doesn't go crazy. He became unhinged, I guess. Oh, that's wrong. He became unhinged because Circus Baby I can't draw. Okay, that's Circus Baby. Let me color pick first. Circus Baby ate Elizabeth. She's dead now. That's Elizabeth. Because she got too close. Even after William told her not to. Kind of a skill issue from Elizabeth, to be honest. But it's fine. She's like, what? She's probably under 10. Oh. I hit my tablet. Okay. Yeah. So she dies because she gets too close to Circus Baby. And like you see here, Circus Baby's eyes are originally green. No, wait, blue. But then, because Elizabeth had green eyes. She had green eyes, right? When she got eaten, basically, by Circus Baby, Circus Baby's eyes turned green. Ooh. Possession. Ghost kids. This is literally MatPat's entire life. Dead kids and animatronics. And so basically, this got wait, color pick. This got Afton thinking. This is Afton. He's thinking. There. A big thought bubble. This is the best class of my life. Thank you. I got everything that I know. I owe this all to MatPat. Okay. So, William Afton, he is thinking, ghosts exist? Because like, a robot doesn't just randomly change its eye color after consuming your dead daughter. The fact that it's also the same color as your dead daughter's eyes, that's kind of suspicious, bro. That's kind of sus. So, basically, that got him thinking, if Circus Baby had blue eyes, which then turned green, these are eyes, then that means Elizabeth which I need to color pick again. Maybe I should make an entire layer just for the colors. But like Elizabeth, that means Elizabeth, who had the green eyes. Oh. There we go. Green eyes. That means she possessed. You see this? Are you understanding, guys? Are you all understanding? I'm not sure if this is cohesive enough. So, possession. And he wants to do more with that. He wants to make like all of his animatronics like that. And because like baby, Circus Baby, she also changed behaviors and she became more, how do I explain it? She became like alive. And she has like a really strange, I think that's the only way I can explain it. She has like a really strange fondness towards making William Afton proud. Cause like, oh wait, I forgot her eyes are green now. Stop. I keep opening the wrong tab by accident. Yeah, her eyes are green now. And she wants to make her dad proud, basically. Yes, Thomas, the eyes. The eyes are very important. In a fandom where we used to count how many fingernails and how many claws and how many toes an animatronic has, just to figure out the lore, eye color matters a lot. Okay. Oh, that's the wrong. Yeah, so basically, Baby changed personalities after Elizabeth got eaten. This is sister location, which apparently MatPat decided to put it before the what happens in FNAF 4? Yeah, FNAF 4. So sister location came before FNAF 4. Could you explain the eyes again? What do you mean? So, Baby originally has blue eyes. Like, she was built with the blue eyes. This is her original eye color. This, right here. This blue. This is her original eye color. And then, she eats Elizabeth, right? Who has this green color. Red? The eyes... Oh wait, are you talking about this? This is Circus Baby's nose. Yellow? Huh? Wait. I'm trying to understand. You want Circus Baby's eyes to be yellow? we can turn her eyes yellow if you want. From yellow to red? Wait. No, from green. No, from blue. From blue to green. Yeah. So circus baby. Blue eyes. Blue. Oh. Wait. Blue. That's there. Blue. You can't read that. Blue. And this Elizabeth. Green. There we go. And now, baby has green eyes because she got possessed by Elizabeth. Okay. So basically, oh yeah, I skipped a bunch of parts. I just realized. Okay, I'm going to give a quick recap of what we missed. It's not gonna be quick. I'm gonna be honest. It's not gonna be quick at all. But first, I need to make this so I don't have to keep going back to old layers. This is really stop! I keep pressing the wrong one. Michael, Elizabeth, crying child, and Clara. Here we go. And they're all on the wrong layer. Of course they are. Michael, Elizabeth, Clara, crying child. There we go. That's our color palette. Our main color palette. That's gonna be important. So, new layer. You're tired? I guess I'm a bit tired, but I'm not. Oops, sorry, I was getting a drink. I'm not tired per se, but I had a very exhausting day because I was in uni from like 8 in the morning to 7 o'clock at night. But I want to stream because I don't know, I've been having a weird obsession of streaming. I just want to stream. It's been a while since. Oh, yeah, it's just been a while since I've streamed. In a while, yeah. University, yes. It's very tiring. Wait, where were we? Oh yeah, Remnant. Oh no, wait, we were talking about this backstory. Oh my god. Okay. So the backstory is. Let me choose. So William Afton. There, that's a quick William. He finds out there's a rival pizzeria which has animatronics, and because like his pizzeria at that time, he was only puppets, like big suits like the suits, like mascot suits, you know? They had mascot suits. So basically, you would be wearing these suits. Like a mascot. Yeah. So, while he would be wearing mascot suits, the rival pizzeria had fully moving animatronics. I'm gonna just, oh no, that you can't see that. Bonnie? Yes, he's dressed as Bonnie. Wait, what are you doing here? You have a future? Sometimes you just want to be anime, you know? I might have a future, but if I'm not a VTuber, then when else can I become anime? This is my once in a lifetime chance to become an anime character. Wait. What now is? Oh yeah. So basically, we're gonna. These are robots. I'm not sure if you can tell. Can you tell these are robots? I'm making them square because like robots are geometrical. I like Toy Chica. And you? Oh, that's a tough question actually. Who's my favorite character? Who's my favorite animatronic? I've never really thought about it. But if it's like from the classic games, I really like the design of Nightmare Freddy. Yes, this is Freddy. Robot Freddy. Yeah, I think from the classic games, like the FNAF 1 to 4, I really like the design of Nightmare Freddy from FNAF 4. But if it's like from the entire game, I really have started to groan on what's his name again? Oh, Mr. Hippo. I like Mr. Hippo. He's silly. Oh, and I also like the design of Security Breach. Yeah, Security Breach's animatronics. The Ruin ones. I feel like they could have made them more interesting. Just a little bit. But they're still cool. I really liked Prototype Freddy and Ruin. Classic, yeah. It's fine. We all have sometimes sticking to the classics. But Chica, no, because you're so real. Chica, in every, I don't know why I keep hitting my cables, but Chica's design there has never been a Chica design that flopped other than probably FNAF 3. FNAF 3 was basically just a reused model, so that's understandable. Do I like any of the... Oh! Wait. Oh! Thomas! Thank you for the follow. Oh my gosh. Okay, wait. Now that I think about it, do I like any of the Chica skins in FNAF AR? There are a bunch of skins. Liberty Chica. Wait, how do you It's the Day of the Dead Chica. Wait, I forgot how to say it. Of the... El Dia de los Muertos? I'm sorry if I butchered the pronunciation. It's that skin. If it's from FNAF AR, that's probably my favorite skin. I'm not sure if it's culturally appropriation. I'm not sure if that's offensive. I hope it's not. It's a really cool design. Can you create one Chica? One Chica? You want me to draw a Chica? Wait, actually, after this, I'm about to draw Chica anyway. Where were we? I feel like I got distracted. Oh yeah, rival gang. I don't. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Where are you from, Thomas? You speak Spanish, right? I don't know. I know not all Mexican people. No, not all Spanish-speaking people are Mexican. But I can't. There's probably a way to differentiate, like, where you're from, depending on how you speak Spanish. But I'm not that big-brained. Draw one toy chica. Okay, I'll draw you a toy chica. Hold on. Let me pull up a reference. EU. Toy chica. Do you want with the beak or without the beak? Let me pull up. Is this safe? You're from the United Kingdom. Oh! We've got a Britain. Boa. I'm sorry, that's probably offensive to British people. Toy chica. Is this safe to draw on Twitch? You're from the United States. Ah, you're messing with me. Okay, Thomas. If you're from the United Kingdom and from the United States, then I'm from Mars. I come in peace. Oh, why is my Discord PNG messing? This is one prank for YouTube. Huh? Oh wait, are you? Is this a prank? Am I getting pranked? I draw you. I'm trying to draw you a chica and you prank me? How dare you? Look, angry chica now. Oh my god, what's going on outside? Look, chica's angry now. And her beak fell off. And now she is beakless. Huh? Oh, I forgot to deselect. There we go. Look, now she's beakless. And she's angry. Wait, where were we? Now I'm distracted now. This was supposed to be a FNAF recap, not a drawing request stream. That message was a joke? Which message? The one where you asked me to draw Chica? I'm not sure. Yeah, I understand you, kinda. I'm just confused. What did you mean by... Which message is the joke? Your Chica? Chica? Chica's angry at you. God damn it. I'm not sure if... Is Toy Chica... Is it safe to draw on Twitch? What if I get striked? Just draw... I can't draw animatronics, to be honest. That's why I draw them so crudely. I don't understand anything. You're just like me, for real. I have no idea what I'm doing. Look, Chica. She's angry. Because her beak fell off. There. I drew your Chica. Now I need to get back to the stream. It's already 11 And we haven't even gotten into Afton's second dead child. We haven't gotten into Afton becoming a serial killer. I have to hurry this up. Okay. So Afton. So his pizzeria uses the mascot suits. So like it's manual. You put the mascot suits on. Then you like move around in the suits, and that's how the suits move. But the rival restaurant, they had fully functioning animatronics, and it was so basically Afton realizes that like, oh, I'm not the best pizzeria in town because I don't have animatronics. Because this is literally what Afton wanted. This is like his dream. Afton's dream. And like, he couldn't make that happen. But this guy named Henry Emily? Yeah, Henry Emily. There, Henry Emily. He's the one who makes these animatronics for the rival restaurant. And so I'm pretty sure this causes William Afton to become bankrupt. He's bankrupt now. No money. But then I should have put Henry's colors because he's important. Yeah, so basically Afton declares bankruptcy, but then he gets bailed out of the bankruptcy because of Henry Emily giving him money. And he basically said, let's collab. It's just like VTuber, see? See, being a VTuber isn't useless. This is literally what happened in FNAF. Collabing literally happened in FNAF, therefore being a VTuber isn't completely useless because VTubers also collab. I'm coping. Okay, so basically Henry gave money to Afton, so he takes his characters and he what's it called? He basically merges the two restaurants into one brand. Did it smell bad? No, these are despair lines, like in the animes. Like, when they're shocked. And like, you get these lines zooming in. What is it gonna... Yeah. You, William Afton? Me? I'm the man behind the slaughter. Is it because I'm purple? Wait. It's because I'm purple. I'm purple. I'm the purple man. I am the man behind the slaughter. This is so funny because I'm going to the FNAF movie tomorrow, but I literally have 0 purple shirts. I don't have a single purple shirt. So I'm going to bring my purple McDonald's tumbler in hopes that that's enough. Okay, let's collab. Aw, they're different layers. Oh god damn it. Okay, so basically, since Henry bailed him out of bankruptcy. Oh wait, we should put some. This is still important here. Yeah. And Afton's like, yeah. The wife of William. Okay. First of all, I would not be a wife. Like, first of all, I am not a wife. Second of all, if I were to be a wife, it would not be to William Afton. I would not marry this insane serial killer. Sorry, this is getting kind of... I'm not a woman. Well, I don't think I own explanation, but I'm not a woman nor a man. What are you? What does this mean? I go by they, them. Did I put them in my bio? Did I put them in my Twitch? Yeah, I'm non-binary. I go by they, them. Yeah, so basically, after Henry bailed Afton out of bankruptcy, Afton was like, yeah, he was, how dare you? This is so humiliating for me. But like, he's still getting success though. So... You are William Afton. Oh my god. You're the man behind the slaughter. I can't believe we found Michael. Wait, William Afton, guys. William Afton is literally in my stream right now. That's insane. Wait, how long have I been streaming? I've been streaming for an hour? I'm taking longer than MatPat! Oh my god, okay. Speedrun. Get the money. This is the money. You are one experiment for me. No! Your life is mine? No! And then I have to ban you. I'm gonna ban you. Nah, I'm not gonna ban you for real. Okay, wait. Okay. Next one. Speedrun. William Afton. He becomes obsessed with the robots. He becomes obsessed with robotics. Because, like, Henry... Oh yeah, I have his car here. Henry teaches Afton. Henry taught Afton about robotics. And Afton fell in love, and he basically speed ran his way into an engineering degree. Quote from that. And he basically built his own animatronics. I forgot which lineup is Afton's and which is Henry's, but the defining feature of Henry's animatronic is that, like the mediocre melodies, they have this hinge, so the head is split into two. So like we have the top part, we have the bottom part, and they just slide up and down on this hinge. But Afton, I'm pretty sure, I'm trying to remember, I don't remember. Instead of hinges, I'm pretty sure Afton had like wait, I don't remember. I don't remember. But like, all you need to remember is that basically Afton became obsessed with robots, and he makes robots, which led into him experimenting on the limitations of those robots, which also leads back to Sister Location, where we have not just Baby, all of the Funtime animatronics. They all have, like, I'm too lazy to draw animatronics. They all had a bunch of tubes and wires inside, like this. This is what they were what? Huh? This is how they were basically built. They were basically built like this. They are all bald. Can you consider them actually having hair? They're all plastic and metal plates. So they're not technically hair. And they're not bald either. Well, at least we know that baby's not hot. And wait, what? Oh my god. Baby's not bald. Why did I say hot instead? Oh my. That's the worst fuck up that I've ever made during my entire streaming career. And my streaming career isn't even that long. I literally came back from hiatus not too long ago. Baby and Laura, they're not bald. You can't say they're bald because they have hair, kind of. I guess you could say that. Can you say that Freddy and Foxy are bald in Sister Location? They're meant to have fur, kind of. Yeah. Let's just assume all animatronics are bald. Yeah. I think that's the wisest decision. Yeah, so basically, instead of like your typical endoskeleton, which is like thick and like that. This is like your typical endoskeleton. Afton, he was like, but what if more dynamic? So he experimented with like tubes and wires, like springs. Like this. So like basically, there aren't any like metal poles inside the Funtime animatronics. Instead, they were all like metal tubes and wires and springs and pipes. Pipes? That big mouth? What mouth? I didn't draw a mouth. Oh wait, this is the endoskeleton head. There. That's his head. Okay. And so like Afton built the Funtime animatronics because he wanted to collect Remnant, because in FNAF 4, no, not 4. Wait, was it 4? I don't think it was 4. In like a mini game in one of the FNAF games. In one of the FNAF games, there's a mini game where you play as Afton himself, William Afton. You play as William Afton, and you go to the original Five Nights at Freddy's pizzeria. You go there as William Afton, and disassemble. Oh wait, it was a FNAF 2 minigame. It was the FNAF 2 minigame. You play as Afton. Afton breaks into the pizzeria. He dismantles the original FNAF 1 animatronics, and he gets their endoskeletons he melts the metal. So he basically just melts the entire endoskeleton. And then he made it into this weird goo. Was it goo? It's basically fast goo. We don't talk about fast goo, apparently. Yeah, it turns into this liquid, and he injects it into the animatronics. Freddy, Funtime Freddy specifically. And he basically comes alive. Funtime Freddy becomes alive. But he's a little unhinged, because if you melt possessed metal into a goo, and like you possess different metals that contain different souls, and you melt them all together and inject them into a single body, that's probably not gonna have the best results. Yeah. So Afton was like, I gotta experiment more with this. So he what does he do? Oh no, I forgot. Basically, oh wait, he takes the spring trap suit. He brings the spring trap suit. The one that he wears. Look, Afan's so kawaii. Look. He's committing murders cutely. And he basically just uses this to commit more murders. Which is where we start to go into the crying child. Now the crying child, what, he angry? He's always angry. He's always angry, Thomas. When is there not a day where William Afton is either not crazy or angry? He's just always angry. It's just pent up all the time. So like, we have crying child. He's crying. Because he witnessed his sister's death, I think. So now he's like got this phobia of animatronics, because his sister died right in front of him because of an animatronic. If I was him, my therapist would be the first person to hear about all this. Can you imagine the therapy sessions the Aftons must... Damn. The Aftons' family therapist is probably rich. Or broke. I'm pretty sure they don't go to therapy. That's why they're all dead, or gone, or unknown. Hence, yeah. But yes, it is a misunderstanding. He is a good guy. We'll get to that in a second, Thomas. First, we need to discuss his backstory. Just because he has a sad backstory doesn't make his actions kind of justifiable. Like, yeah, you're mad because your kids died. That doesn't mean you get to kill other children. That's called unresolved issues, and you need to see a therapist. Please do not commit murder because your children died in a freak accident involving you and your business partners animatronics. You know what? Don't involve children in the making of animatronics at all. And if Scott is William? Well then... I think Scott would be cancelled if he was William Afton in real life. He'd definitely get cancelled. I mean, he got cancelled before because of something. I don't really remember, but he did get cancelled. Oh yeah. So basically, crying child. He has trauma now. Trauma. But like William Afton, he's like, this is a good thing. Because this is like the only way that his children are gonna stay away from animatronics. So he's basically trying to scare his children to not interact with his children capturing animatronics. Watch the movie. I'm watching it tomorrow, which is why I'm making this stream tonight. It's almost 12 a.m. I should probably speed this up. Okay. Basically, crying child. Oh wait, Michael Afton, who was the Foxy bro. He was like the guy in the Foxy mask in FNAF 4. So, crying child. So wait, no, this is Michael. Michael thought it'd be funny to prank his brother by putting him inside of Freddy, as in inside, oh that's not, inside the mouth of Freddy, which is now known as Golden Freddy. But like, yeah, before Golden Freddy was like Golden Freddy. Wait, that's not. We're supposed to be making the top hat. There we go. He thought it'd be funny to prank his brother with a bunch of other guys, which are his friends. But then, as you all know, Fight of 83. You play all games of FNAF? I don't play the games. I watch MatPat. And I watch like a few. I watch most of the play-alongs. I did play the first 4 games, but after that it was just really, yeah, I just didn't want to keep up because I felt lazy. I was lazy basically. I didn't want to play the games, so I just watched people play them. This is Bite of 83. Crying child dies. And like this cause, I didn't mean to do that. William Afton to become depressed. He's depressed. Vera's depressed. She's just sitting watching TV because we know this in Midnight Motorist game in FNAF Pizzeria Simulator. It's kind of crazy. The timeline just blurs all of these games together. So basically, both parents are depressed. And then Michael he's like traumatized. For life. He's traumatized for life. Oh, sorry when I laughed. Oh yeah, that's fine, Thomas. It's fine if you need to go. You're not obligated to stay in my streams. You're not obligated to really do anything in my streams. You don't have to chat, you don't have to, like, oh, what's it called? You don't really have to follow me either. The important thing is that you have fun. If you have fun watching me ramble about FNAF. Yeah, so Michael... Oh. He's traumatized. But then... Huh? Why am I rotating? Huh? He's traumatized. Then William, he's like, blackout drunk. He's drunk. He's lucky. Bye. Bye, Thomas. Have a nice day. Or night. I don't know your time zone. Yes, basically, William Afton gets drunk when he's depressed. And so, he's like, driving in his car. That's what the... It's the evil idea, the evil genius idea. He was gonna take revenge on Henry because if you notice here, I told you all to pay attention. The hinges. The suit that malfunctioned. What? The suit that Malfunction. The suit that malfunctioned was Henry's design. The hinge, that's Henry's thing. And yeah, so he associates Henry as being the reason his kids died. Oh, that's Chica. Wait, why is it all the way down here? Where do we put this? We put this up here. Yeah. And so he's like, if I can't have my children. Wait, I'm gonna make it more dramatic. I'm gonna make it hot. I know I'm supposed to be speedrunning, but I'm an artist, kind of. Does this deserve the art tag? I'm technically arting. I should probably edit my tags. Can I edit my tags? Edit my stream. Oh, I can. I can also put... Oh no, wait. Is this just chatting or drawing? I'm gonna put just chatting. Then put drawing in the tags. Update. Okay. And then, wait, I need to collect Charlie's colors. Oh. And oh my god, it's lagging. My Photoshop's lagging. Is it because of all the layers I have? It could be because of all the layers I have. I'll make a new file soon. What hour are we on? We're on hour 2. Should I? I'm gonna ask if anyone wants to join my stream. You know what? I'm going to join. Oh, what's it called? Can I join a streaming channel? No, I can't. I'll put it on Twitter. Or maybe I can. I feel awkward kind of asking. You know what, never mind. I can do this. Yeah, so basically, Afton. You see this? Oh, I didn't mean to do that. Oh, it's the wrong color. And Charlie's dead. Then Charlie goes on to possess the puppet. That's Charlie. And she... oh, what's it called? Saves the children who possess the animatronics. There's supposed to be 5 of them, but I'm lazy to draw all 5. There we go. She saves them in the last... what's it called? In the happiest day minigame. Yeah. Oh my god. I'm kind of tired. I wanna keep going. Oh, I didn't mean to do that. No here. And then so obviously this is like Afton's first. Why is it lagging? Okay, I fixed it. So this is Afton's first taste of blood. And he's like, oh god. Hold on. Wait, that's not the expression. And he's like evil, and he's got a taste for blood and murder, and which is how Michael Afton turned into a serial killer. Oh, okay. I'm gonna take a break. Let me... You know what? Since I don't even remember. I don't remember what I watched in the FNAF Ultimate timeline. I'm gonna do a watch along. Let me search it up. FNAF Ultimate timeline. There we go. Oh, that was way too loud. Hold on. Wait, what are you guys... Okay. trying to be careful to not accidentally leak this Discord. Where is it? Is it not here? Huh? Where's my browser tab? Window capture. There we go. Okay. Let me... Oh, I didn't mean to move myself. I'll lock that. I'll lock these. Let's zoom in on this. We're gonna spend the rest of the time. We're gonna spend the rest of our time watching the FNAF Ultimate timeline.
Introducing the English test.
Oh my god. Hold on. I need to...
Designed for you. Convenient.
Can you guys hear that? Hold on, I'm checking for playback. Designed for you. Convenient. Let me turn up. Wait, I'll turn up the audio after I'm...
Fast, affordable, and
Today we end the torment. 19 books, 11 games, 8 whole years.
I'm checking. Oh. Okay. You guys can hear it. I'm turning off media. No, not media. I'm turning off the Wii music. I'll turn on captions too.
Leading to this moment. The ultimate FNAF. Today we end the torment. 19 books, 11 games, 8 whole
Oh no. Whoa. That was...
years, all leading to this moment. The ultimate FNAF timeline is finally complete. The pieces are in place for us. Now all we have to do is put this story of tragedy, jealousy, and loss back together. Hello, Internet! Welcome to Game Theory, the show that feels like a kid revealing the class project that he's been working on all year. Except here, it's the class project that I've been working on for the past decade of my life. This one is big, my friends, and I gotta admit, kinda nervous. I haven't attempted a timeline video on this franchise since 2018. Back in the days when Mike was the crying child,
like...
Afton coming back was actually a surprise.
Can you guys see if I'm worried. You guys stay on the YouTube tab, right? I think you guys stay on the YouTube tab. Yeah, you guys do stay on the YouTube tab. I'm gonna ask Sukuria if anyone wants to join me in my FNAF watch along. I should update the stream name now. Oh wait, never mind. I don't need to. FNAF lore. Wait, I should make it more professional at least. Vtuber. recaps entire wait Vtuber talks about the FNAF lore. Real, no fake, not clickbait. No, I'm just gonna delete the no fake. Real, not clickbait. Update. This is my name now. This is my stream's name. I'm gonna ask if anyone wants to join my watch along, but like I don't think maybe next time. You know what? Let's watch it.
And Fazgoo wasn't a phrase I'd ever thought I'd have to utter. But since the last time I did something like this, we've had 3 more massive games, the death and revival of the FNAF movie, and more robot kids than you can shake a staff bot at. It is exhausting trying to keep track of this whole franchise, which honestly is why I'm here today. The lore at this point is complicated. It is full of speculation and theory, so to hopefully make it a little easier for everyone and to give us all a baseline to talk about this franchise moving forward into the future, it's time to reveal my current working FNAF timeline. But just before I do, I just want to explain a couple of things. First, this timeline is massive. Seriously, it is huge. This thing towers over any video project we have ever done on the channel. But when you look at the totality of this franchise, the story of FNAF really boils down to the story of one man, William Afton. His successes, his failures, his rise to becoming co-owner of one of the most successful restaurant franchises in the world, and his eventual fall to the monsters he helped to create, only to then be reborn in a new digital form later. So sit back, grab some popcorn, or your pitchforks if you're the type to get upset.
I should get some popcorn. And by popcorn, I mean snacks. I'm going to go get some snacks. Oh, my stream is playing in the background. Don't listen! I can't let people find out that I listen to myself. Free time. Use source. Add source. This. Be right back. Getting snacks. Done. Oh no. Wait, let me lock that. Why is it so tiny? It's tiny. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm going to go get some snacks. I'll turn on some Wii music so you guys don't feel alone. Let me find it. There it is. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm back. I brought snacks for myself. I brought cookies. These are jam cookies. Oh wait, I should... Hold on guys. I forgot something. Okay, now I'm back. Okay. I have these delicious... These are my childhood. I have jam cookies. They have like jam inside. It's so good. Wait, let me take a pic. I'll take a picture. I'm gonna put it onto Twitter. Hold on, let me just... Hold on, I'm gonna mute for a second because this might be loud. I'm gonna reset my table. Okay, I took the picture. I'm gonna put it onto Twitter. What should the caption be? Watching the FNAF Ultimate Timeline with chat. With chat on stream. Okay, it's posted. Now, oh yeah, I also have oat milk because it's to balance out the sweetness. Okay, let me turn off the music. And I need to hold on. Properties. I need to be able to hear the audio. I don't mind if there's gonna be like double audio, but I just need to know how loud it is for you guys.
When I say something controversial, and make sure that you subscribe, since this is going to be a video that you're going to want to come back to a few times in order to fully dissect. Without any more waiting, I present to you the story of a loving, obsessive father who slowly descended into madness.
I don't think so. You can hear me.
Secret to eternal life.
Yeah. On the ads. I don't have YouTube Premium. I'm broke, guys.
Our story begins not in the 1980s, or even in the 1970s, but all the way back in the 1930s. It was the throes of the Great Depression, and people were in desperate need of cheap entertainment, especially in YouTube. fortunes out in California. People were tired and they were hungry, but as they traveled, there was one thing that could lift their spirits. A simple roadside attraction called Fredbear's Singin' Show.
This is
the all over town,
what's it called?
Animated
The
bears
singing
drawn in the
bear
popular
that
pie-eyed
Afton
cartoon
really
style
liked.
for characters at the time. He resembled cartoons like Mickey Mouse, Felix the Cat, Betty Boop. It immediately said that this, Fredbear's, was a place where you could bring the family. And the price, honestly, couldn't be beat. For 50 cents, you could get food and entertainment as you watched the local trained real-life dancing bear perform on stage. Normally, you only got to see dancing bears at large traveling circuses like Barnum and Bailey, where the tickets would go for about $1. That's $1 without food. But this was a smaller show, like the type from the Von Brothers or the Robbins Brothers, where tickets would sell for just a mere 50 cents. Watching that bear do tricks on stage brought a glimmer of joy at a time when so much was wrong with the world. The simple show would go on for years, bringing happiness to hundreds of travelers passing through looking for a quick meal. But it left a permanent impression on one little
Look
boy,
at the tiny
capturing his
Afton.
imagination in a way that nothing else had. One
He's so
little boy
silly.
named Billy. That was his nickname at least, but his parents liked to call him William Afton. The bear could dance,
Billy.
could sing. For decades, William dreamed of recreating that moment of bringing a musical bear to life.
If my
but
name was William,
was smart,
and people
without
called
a doubt.
me
He had
Billy,
a keen mind for business, but he wasn't.
I would
most
also
creative.
become a
How
serial
to make
killer,
a
to be
singing,
honest.
dancing bear come to life. The best he could do was using rudimentary costumes. We know, based on the retro poster that was hidden in Security Breach, that at least at one point, Fredbear was an actual bear. Dancing bear shows were a real form of entertainment. The only problem is that, timing-wise, none of our main characters would be the people in charge of that business in the 30s and a series of pizza restaurants in the 80s without him just being extremely old. Best case scenario, if Afton's running the singing show when he's 18, that still puts him at nearly 70 when the first pizzeria
He's
opens
old.
and his murder spree begins. That just doesn't make a lot
Sorry,
of logical
I'm
sense because he doesn't become immortal until his first
unwrapping
death
the
is
straw.
spring trap. That's why I suspect that Fredbear's Singing Show was either a family business that Afton then carried on to a new generation, or something that he saw as a kid and just wanted to recreate when he grew up. William was inspired by the work of Walt Disney, who throughout the 50s and 60s was pioneering the use of mascot
Man,
suits throughout
he
his
was just
uniform.
like me
The
for
big
real.
innovation, suits with 5 fingers. This allowed the performers wearing the suits to use their natural arms and hands to interact with the guests, as opposed to the older models where the arms would just hang limply by their
Oh yeah,
sides.
that happened.
Finally, with a simple mascot suit, he would be able
Sorry.
to realize his childhood dream. He would be able to bring Fredbear to life. To appeal to the kids, and for copyright reasons, he changed Fredbear from a realistic brown animal to a cartoonish yellow bear with a purple hat and bow tie. But feeling like
It's
one character
golden.
wasn't enough, he added another
Golden
friend, a
Freddy.
yellow rabbit with a purple vest and matching tie named Bonnie the Bunny. While Fredbear was certainly his first love, Bonnie was extra special because that was his. It was an original character that he
It's
had
my
created
OC,
from scratch.
guys.
And I do mean
my
scratch.
first
William's
OC.
hand-sewn
It's his
costumes
first
were rough,
OC.
with
I'm so
seams
proud
and
of him.
stitches visibly showing. It's a handcrafted suit. You can see the seams and everything. It even has 5 fingers for the performer's hands. It is very much not a Springtrap suit. This is something much more rudimentary. It came at a time before animatronics were a part of the story. That's why I suspect that it was actually the first, predating literally everything. It's also a suit that is very personal to Afton. He put his digital consciousness in that form. It's his personal avatar. It's the way that he sees himself.
It's
There's
his
also
persona.
a discussion to be had here about the habits and rituals of serial killers. So the fact that he's choosing to lure kids and kill them in this particular suit actually says a lot about his emotional attachment to it. So while Fredbear seems to have started as someone else's creation, Golden Bonnie was uniquely Williams, giving him a personal connection. And that's not all. In this whole franchise, only one set of characters have themselves 5 fingers, the Nightmares. Even Golden Freddy, Fredbear, was a 5-fingered wearable suit at one point in the story, as we see in this shot from the graphic novel, before he, like everyone else, was turned into an animatronic. This seems to imply that all of the main characters had similar wearable mascot
Look,
outfits at least
that's
at one point in
Henry's.
time, and that whoever is
The
responsible for
hinge.
nightmares, if they even are nightmares, saw those mascot suits specifically. Bonnie and Fredbear would perform on stage to small but enthusiastic
him,
crowds.
he's dancing.
Finally, he was able to deliver fantasy and fun to all the kids, delighting and inspiring them in the exact way that he had been delighted and inspired so many years ago. Afton, despite eventually falling to become the heartless serial killer and mad scientist that we know him as, began as someone with good intentions and a love of entertaining kids. He wanted to
Yeah,
bring
but then
things
he
to
became
life
a
from
little
the
bit,
very beginning, a theme that recurs a lot for him throughout the rest of the franchise. And things could have ended there. That could have been the end to his story. It could have been perfect had it not been for one thing. thing. Other people saw the success of his idea.
Capitalism.
Enter Chica's Party World, a rival restaurant starring performing animal characters. His idea, except they did it better. William may have been the first, but obviously he wasn't the best. It hurt the prideful William Afton to admit it, but this restaurant was able to do the thing that he always wanted to do. Make the animals actually come to life. All of the performers in this restaurant were robots. Simple metal skeletons that were powered by battery packs, but all of them able to freely turn and talk and dance on their own, no human required. It was like magic. Magic that came from the mind of a brilliant creator named Henry Emily. This Henry, in some small way, had been able to harness the power of life itself. Afton admired him. He was jealous, to be sure.
Okay, sorry for pausing, but I remember something about the books or the graphic novels. They said something about, this is literally, I know MatPat said, like just now, that he was able to create life. That was true to an extent. But in the books or graphic novels, I don't remember. I'm pretty sure Henry literally used to make those animatronics. Oh, sorry, I burped. Yeah, he literally used to make animatronics out of wood. Just wood. And somehow they could still move like robots. It's kind of crazy. Okay, sorry. We're continuing now.
He also looked upon this man with awe. Off to one side of Chica's Party World was a small cabaret stage featuring an elephant magician. On the other, a hippo known to ramble on and on. That one was more of a joke for the parents. But it was the main stage that was for the
Mr.
kids.
Hippo.
A rocking band of characters featuring a yellow chicken thing with a southern drawl
Chica.
named Chica,
No,
backed by a
Chica,
band of
sorry.
other country-themed characters, including a pig with a banjo, an upbeat frog from the local swimming hole, and a brown bear with a heavy southern accent. Wait. A bear? But bears were his animals. Why not a cow or a horse? Something that
That's
fit the
my
country theme a bit
character.
better. Why did it have to be a bear? And adding insult to injury, they had the nerve to call this thing Ned Bear, a direct copy of his own Fredbear.
That's my OC.
I've suspected that the mediocre melodies played a much more important role in the story than just being a bunch more animatronics to fill out the roster. Especially Ned Bear, which is just so suspiciously close to Fredbear. And yet, there are two key details that we're going to have to justify with any mediocre melodies mention. One, they're very rudimentary with external battery packs, implying that they come very early in the timeline. And two, we know that at minimum, Mr. Hippo does eventually become an official member of the extended Freddyverse. But if these things are supposed to be cheap, generic rip-offs, why would you be trying to rip off yourself? You wouldn't. You would be stealing someone else's ideas. So if Afton created Fredbear, there would have to be some rival franchise. The only other person who would likely be ripping him off? Henry. We've talked extensively
Kind of
about
a
how
big
the
move
mediocre
from
melodies
Henry.
are clearly Henry's design aesthetic. So it just has to
But
be
it could have
him.
been,
I don't think
like,
Henry's doing this maliciously.
corporate.
He doesn't strike me as the type. He was likely building
Like,
the robots at
the
the orders of
company
someone else that was
making
running a
Henry
rival restaurant
do
franchise.
that.
But that's enough motivation to start Afton down a path of jealous rivalry, but also begrudging admiration. As the Freddy Files Ultimate Edition says, it's important to revisit the beginning of Henry and William's relationship, so here you go. I think this is where it begins. Also, this is future MatPat here coming back to add this
Hi,
one in.
future
Seems like
MatPat.
the recently released character encyclopedia has backed up all of this speculation. I've had this timeline written for about a month now, but I've also been holding off a bit to see what wrenches this character encyclopedia might throw into it. And on this particular point, I gotta say, it seems like we might actually have nailed it. They actively call out the suspicious similarities to the main Fredbear crew. Quote from one of the pages. Ned Bear looks like an imitation, altered just enough to avoid copyright issues. I don't know about you, but that seems to imply that we were right on the money. Knowing all of this, at one point the franchises had to have
This is
merged. That's really the
literally-
only way that you get Mr. Hippo from the rival
What's it called?
franchise as part of the Fazbear
Wasn't this,
crew.
like,
This
based
also
on
mirrors
the
a lot of
Chuck E.
what happened
Yeah.
in the real-life history of Chuck E. Cheese, with two rival restaurants, each with their own casts of characters merging to become one unified brand. Again, we've gone into that in detail with other videos, just wanted to remind you all of that here. But why would I call out the rival restaurant as being named Chica's Party World? Few things, actually. First, we know for a fact that a location named Chica's Party World exists. It is mentioned in the source source code teasing sister location, so it is out
Oh
there
yeah, the
somewhere and
source
doesn't
codes,
fit
I forgot
cleanly
about
anywhere.
that.
Second, in the story The Puppet Carver, Chica is very explicitly looped in with the book versions of Pig Patch and Ned Bear, implying that she started as a mediocre melody. Thirdly, her design just fits better with a theme of down-home country animals with southern accents playing the banjo and eating with bibs. And with her being the headliner of the show with her name on the restaurant, it would make sense then that when the restaurants merged, she was the one that was added to the main cast of characters while all the other mediocres faded away. It's also why when Freddy's closes after William's killing spree, she's the one to branch back off into her old franchise and is therefore missing in sister location. A detail that's bothered me for years at this point. It might also explain why William decided to stuff his first dead kid into Chica. That one was Henry's creation, not his. Istin's jealous admiration turned to hardened bitterness. A bitterness that would only grow over the next couple of years as families continued to choose Chica's party world over Fredbear's. William just couldn't compete with the appeal of the robots. Eventually, his restaurant would go bankrupt, only to get bailed out by, of course, Henry Emily. Another insult. Another humiliation that William wouldn't soon forget. 1979. Despite being bitter, Afton couldn't deny that what came next was a period of massive success and expansion. With the two franchises now merged into one, it was the best of both worlds. Afton's ideas with Henry's robotic expertise. The two men decided to launch under a new name, Fredbear's Family Diner, a pizza chain that would eventually come to feature a mix of humans in performing suits as well as on-stage animatronics. They decided to stick with Fredbear as the headliner, considering the yellow bear was easily identifiable as a brand because he was the original performing animal mascot. Afton appreciated that. This new restaurant would also see a mix of characters as the two franchises merged into one, with Pig Patch and Happy Frog performing right alongside Fredbear and Bonnie. And as part of this one big Fredbear family, they even got themselves official merch that were released, ranging from masks to magnets.
The crappy Mr. Hippo fridge magnet?
The crappy Mr. Hippo.
That said, not all the characters were winners. The reception to some characters was just mediocre, so they faded away
Mediocre
into
melodies.
storage units and retro budget tech stores of lost nostalgia, waiting for their chance to step back into the limelight if and when a headliner went out of commission. Others, though, would fare much better, like a new Pirate Fox, as well as a blue guitar-playing variant of the yellow Bonnie Bunny. Ultimately, the franchise would get so big, it would spawn its own cartoon show, Fredbear and Friends.
Sorry,
Business
that was
was
me
booming.
yawning.
In the end, Fredbear and Bonnie's popularity would be so strong that they would be able to support the Fredbear's Family Diner franchise all on their own, while also spinning off a new sister location dedicated to their friends. In 1983, Freddy Fazbear's Pizza launched, giving a dedicated home to all this new supporting cast of characters. Chica the Chicken, Bonnie the Blue Bunny, Foxy the Pirate, and of course the headliner, a brown Freddy Fazbear. Business was good, and Afton was happy, mostly. It did bother him that the one original character that he created, the one that he himself played, Golden Bonnie, got passed over for inclusion in that cartoon show. The only character in the roster of regulars to get ignored for the show, but other than that, things were going smoothly. He had himself a wife, 2 sons, a daughter, he had a thriving business, and best of all, he was able to learn the craft of robotics from the man that he both loved and hated, Henry. Together, they were constantly pushing the limits of what these characters could do. Because it was quick and easy, new characters introduced into the roster would be given a simple hand-sewn suit with 5 fingers that any performer could wear. Eventually, Henry would design one of his signature animatronics for that character, utilizing a divided mouth with either a hinged or sliding jaw design. This was the first generation of animatronics. But why stop there? Afton had big ideas. What if the animatronics weren't just locked to the stage, but could freely roam the restaurant and interact with the kids? What if his mascot suits could become animatronics? What if you could use more than just rigid metallic skeletons? Why not experiment with tubes and wires that would give the animatronics fluidity and flexibility while still providing structure? The possibilities for this technology were endless. Afton fell in love with robotics. He had started with a dream of bringing one simple singing bear to life, but with robots, he had stumbled across the tools that gave him the ability to control life itself. And thanks to Henry, he was practically speedrunning his way to an engineering degree. And while William wouldn't admit it out loud, one other thing that kept pushing him forward was the desire to beat his former rival, to prove himself smarter and more capable, to surpass the man who everyone else considered to be a visionary genius. But pride cometh before the fall, and tragedy was about to strike.
Oh, are you kidding me? The ads.
When this day
The Afton era.
1983. Business was booming with 2 whole restaurant franchises running, Fredbear's Family Diner and the newly opened Freddy Fazbear's Pizza. Together, William and Henry had been able to take the hybrid suit idea and make it into a reality. They called their new invention the Springlock suit, and fittingly enough, it was symbolic of the partnership between these two men, a human suit as designed by William that could become a freestanding Henry-style robot. But because it was still new tech with kinks to work out, the rollout was limited, restricted only to the Fredbear's Family Diner location. All of this meant that William was busier than ever. He didn't have time to be a full-time parent, so he designed a nanny cam system where cameras and speakers were hidden throughout the neighborhood, as well as in his youngest son's favorite toy, Psychic Friend Fredbear. Plushy Fredbear. But since cameras just weren't enough to raise a kid, he also left childcare duties to his eldest son, Michael. There was just one problem with that. Michael was far from the best babysitter. He tormented his younger brother by jump-scaring him with a Foxy mask and constantly left him behind. William watched all of it from his cameras. Kids would be kids. Tomorrow was another day, after all. Except Michael's torment didn't stop. Bitter, angry thoughts would run through
Kind of an
Michael's
asshole,
mind. Why
to be
did
honest.
he have to be the one to take care of this whining crybaby all the time? It just wasn't fair. It was time that he got even with his brother by playing the ultimate prank. A prank that just so happened to be on this crying child's birthday. He and his friends would take his scared little brother and make him do the one thing that he was terrified of doing, getting close to the animatronics. That would be embarrassing for the kid that was such an embarrassment to him. His brother squirmed, screamed, kicked, and fought, but just as they were putting that small, squirming boy up to Fredbear's lips, the mouth snapped shut. The sensitive spring locks inside the body had been triggered by the boy's movements, and they'd immediately clamped down. The wriggling stopped. The boy went limp, but it was just a prank. It was meant to be funny. The boy was taken to the hospital and was immediately given an IV. Flowers and pills filled the nightstand next to his hospital bed, but the damage was too severe. He couldn't recover. As the younger brother's consciousness began to fade, he could hear Michael's last words, a small and flimsy apology. But his father, Williams, through the voice of the Fredbear plush, were a firm and committed promise to a dying son. You're broken. I will put you back together. This would not be the end. No matter what, William's son would live again. It would just take time. Time that, right now, he just didn't have. His young son's heart flatlined as the boy faded into the inky unknown of the afterlife. In the aftermath of the tragedy, changes started happening around the restaurants. Kids were now required to wear security wristbands to prevent anyone from getting outside without parental permission. Any kid who approached the exit without permission would have to answer to the security puppet, a marionette on strings that could fly around on rails across the restaurant to stop kids in their tracks. It was William's idea, inspired by Michael constantly leaving the restaurant without his brother. In the wake of Fredbear's Springlock failure,
if the marionette existed in real life as a real security measure, I would have never gone back to another pizzeria. I would have probably had trauma with the pizzerias.
Red suits were getting retired, locked away at the nearby Freddy Fazbear location. It was yet another tough pill to swallow after all the hard work that he and Henry had put into them. William would eventually bury the boy's small body in a remote location out in the woods right alongside his drive into and out of work every day. The death of this little boy sent the family spiraling. His wife, crippled with grief, was so distraught that all she could do was sit and watch TV. But his son Michael was far worse, complaining of seeing hallucinations of a golden bear standing outside of his window. The boy was so racked with guilt that he was convinced that he was being haunted by the ghost of his brother stuck inside the suit that took his life.
I wouldn't be
the
surprised.
Suit's three-toed feet digging into the wet earth. The words, "It's me," ringing through Michael's ears. Some nights, Michael would even go so far as to break out of his room to check the gravesite and ensure that his brother was still there. As for William himself, he disappeared into his work and his drinks. Junior's, the local bar, wasn't far from his son's gravesite. He found himself going there more and more frequently, spending longer and longer amounts of time there. The bar gave him a place to think, to remember, to reflect and stew on how Henry had stolen his idea for an animal-themed restaurant. How they'd cut his character out of the cartoon when everyone else was there. How Henry had humiliated him by buying him out of bankruptcy. And now there was his son. Henry had taken his son from him. The robotic part was the part that failed after all. William ordered one more drink, but it was one too many. The bar turned him out and told him to go home. But William didn't go home. Drunk and angry, William raced back to the restaurant to give Henry a piece of his mind, only to find someone else waiting. Henry's daughter, Charlie, locked outside of the building, almost laughing at her through the window. Fine, some other problem to fix. But then Afton got an idea. beautifully awful idea. This was his chance to get back at the man that had humiliated him all those years ago. Henry had killed his business, and now Henry's robotic suit had killed his son. It was time for William to do some killing of his own. Let Henry feel what it's like to have something you love get ripped away. While parties continued inside the walls of the pizzeria, William attacked Charlie in the back alley. It felt good. He felt free. The years of resentment and bitterness trapped in his heart finally released in a moment of pure unapologetic evil. He would make Henry hurt like he hurts.
Okay, so first of
In
all,
that moment, William became a killer.
I want to talk about the voice acting. Both for, I'm not sure if, I don't know who voiced William Afton's laugh just now, but I really like it. And MatPat always reads his scripts so fucking good. I always get into them. I get way too into them. I know he was a theater kid, but like, damn.
Dropped
Okay,
Charlie's
continuing.
lifeless body and drove home, forced to confront his family problems later that night, appalled but also a little excited by what he had just done. Charlie's death would remain on the books as a random act of violence, and though Henry had suspicions about William, there was no physical evidence, nothing that could link him back to the crime. In the weeks that followed, Fredbear's family diner would close for good. 2 high-profile deaths around the restaurant with 2 grieving owners in such a short period of time was just too much bad press to handle. Besides, Freddy Fazbear's was still open, and it was the newer restaurant anyway. All the equipment from the diner, including the old yellow suits and security puppet, would get retired to that location, and there they would sit for 2 uneventful years. The rest of 1983 and 1984 were spent quietly grieving. Freddy Fazbear's Pizza and the new cast of characters were a hit. Tragic memories of their yellow predecessors quickly faded. Afton kept a low profile and buried himself in work and research, quickly reaching Henry's level of engineering and even surpassing him. And while Henry slowed down to grieve, Afton kept going, even starting his own company, Afton Robotics, for all those pet projects that were a little bit too experimental for the regular operations of the pizzeria. The first of these experimental projects was a secret workshop under his house, a veritable bunker, which allowed him to work while still monitoring his kids via hidden security cameras. 1983. A passcode that
The
served as a
bite of
constant reminder of why the
83.
cameras were so important, why he was down there in the first place. This was all to fulfill the promise that he had made to his son, right? I will put you back together. This was for him, all for him. Right? But cameras weren't enough. He needed to solve the runaway Michael problem. He had to keep him in the house. He couldn't have another one of his kids wind up dead inside of an animatronic suit. So why not run a little experiment on Michael? You see, all this work with Henry had gotten Afton to start learning more about life, robots, the human mind, and
Okay,
what
I
a
know
valuable
he
machine
killed-
we as humans were. Our reality is so
Okay, I
easy
was
to
talking-
manipulate with a few sensory
sorry.
deceptions. Deceptions
Hold
like
on, let me
sound.
pause
With just a
this.
few sounds, he had to
So yesterday, I watched the FNAF Ultimate Timeline with my friend, but apparently my memory is too small brain, and I have no idea. No, I don't. I have an idea of what happens, but I don't know the specific details. And my friend, I remember my friend, when we were at this section, she was like, if I accidentally killed my sibling, I would want my mom or my dad to run experiments on me. It's like, that's kind of fucked up. But like, true though. Like, oh god. How would you go about your life like that, you know? Knowing that you accidentally killed your brother. That's crazy.
discovered that he could alter a person's vision. He could transform blank, smooth plastic robots into lumbering, twisted nightmares. Nightmares far scarier than he could create with actual materials. They would appear organic, rotting, putrid, and terrifying. These would be his
Ew.
means of keeping his son Michael in the house where he belonged. Was it extreme? Maybe. But then again, this was the boy who had killed his son. He would make him sorry. And so Michael would grow up not only dealing with the memories of his own guilt, the hospital room, the pills, the flowers, the death of his brother, but also facing literal nightmares, illusions created by sound. Michael would never forget these either. Years later, as a security guard, he would still draw pictures of them inside of his logbook. But all of these extra projects meant that his home life suffered even more. He was an absent father and a non-existent husband, leaving his wife cold and alone.
Why do you hide inside your walls when there is music in my halls? All I see
Okay, but
is
Ballura's
an
voice
empty
actor.
room. No more joy.
When Sister Location first came out, I
And despite
absolutely
her
fell in
repeated
love
demands
with
that he leave
Ballura's
his
voice
office and
actor.
engage with the family, he refused time and time again,
Like
leaving her no
Ballura's
choice
voice.
but to leave.
Ugh.
You call that a house?
It's so good.
It was like a morgue in there. You need to see your son.
The baby isn't mine.
Well, how's this? I'm keeping the diamond ring.
And through it all, there was one lingering feeling. William wasn't
I'm
done. He
keeping
had gotten
the
a taste of what it
diamond
felt
ring.
like to be unleashed, what it felt like to be free. Charlie's murder had unlocked something in him, and he wanted more. June 26th, 1985. Putting on the golden Bonnie suit, he lured children one by one to the back room of the pizzeria when no one was looking. At first, he was cautious. He would lure them with promises of cake and cookies. He told them that their dog had died. He would ask for help with homework. Susie was the first. You never truly forget your first. But where to hide the bodies? He couldn't sneak out. Someone would see him. He had to hide them in a place where they'd never be found, and where they'd never leave the building. They had to be stuffed inside of the suits. No one maintained those things anyway except for him. And so Susie would go into Chica. Fritz, Jeremy, and Gabriel would come next. But it was easy. It was too easy. And with each little life he snuffed out, his lies got bigger. Their house was burning. They're just being kidnapped. Until the last
I'm
one
just
where all
kidnapping
pretense was
you.
off. He let himself get
I'm
violent.
just kidnapping you. It's
I'll just
fine.
wait for him after school, throw a bag over his head, hit him with a shovel, and drag him into the back of my car.
The body of Cassidy was far more bloody and broken than any of the others. He'd let himself go too far. That one he shouldn't have killed. With no more active animatronics left, he shoved the body into the one suit that remained backstage. The long-forgotten yellow Fredbear, now broken and discolored with age. Broken, like Cassidy was broken, like his son was broken. Newspapers reported on this disappearance, naming the whole thing the missing children's incident. Police would even charge William with the crimes after finding security footage of the golden mascot suit luring kids to the back, but they couldn't convict him. They had no bodies, and his face had been hidden behind the mascot suit the entire time. What they had was circumstantial at best, so he walked away a free man. But Henry knew the truth. In these murders, he saw his daughter Charlie all over again, so he threw Afton out of the company and shuttered the doors to the old pizzeria. Henry would keep the franchise quiet for 2 years. This would not happen again. This could not happen again. How could he protect the kids? Finally,
Protect
he
the
developed a
minors.
solution. He would implement an even more extreme security system in the form of new animatronics. Toy animatronics, inspired by the toys that they had been selling years ago. But these guys, these were special. They were a new breed of robot with facial recognition abilities.
But most importantly, they're all tied into some kind of criminal database so they can detect a predator a mile away.
All the original animatronics, now withered with age, were
They can
moved to a
detect
new
a predator
location.
a
With a plan in
mile
place, it was
away.
time to try once more. The year was
You need to install
1987, and the new and
those, to be
improved
honest.
Freddy Fazbear's Pizza was making headlines
feel
in
like
local newspapers.
could
Headlines
be
that just so
useful
happened
in
to catch
real
the
life.
attention of William Afton. Freddy's was back, and without him, that was his idea. His character. Henry was, yet again, trying to cut him out of the picture. No. As long as these restaurants stayed
Oh, wait.
open, William would always come back.
The
And
text
note
is
the
still
phone numbers
there.
Apply at the bottom of the article. $100
I
a
didn't-
week to apply. Call.
forgot.
Afton would go back,
I
not as an
forgot.
owner or co-founder. He would go
I
back
didn't
to the
mean
one
to put
place
the
that they
text
would
there.
least suspect him. A
I'm
low
already
day
back
shift
from
security
getting
guard.
snacks.
There it was, buried in the back of parts and services, mixed in with the old withered animatronics, was the golden rabbit. With the yellow security badge still on his chest, he used his crank to pull open the spring locks. It was time for Bonnie to give an encore performance.
Someone used one of the suits. We had a spare in the back, a yellow one. Someone used it. Now none of them are acting right. From what I understand, the building is on lockdown. No one is allowed in or out, especially concerning any previous employees. When we get it all sorted out, we may move you to the day shift. a position just became available.
1987, 5 more kids. He didn't know what felt better, getting back into the suit after 2 long years of waiting, or knowing how devastating this would be to Henry the next morning. He didn't even try to hide his crime this time, just meant more blood on Henry's hands. He'd failed to protect the kids again. The restaurant had only been open for a few weeks, but William was sure that this would get it to close. Good, if he couldn't have Freddy's, no one would. Whenever a new pizzeria opened, he would be there. But as he sat in his bunker, something else started to linger in William's mind. He had seen something strange. The old withered animatronics, they had been wandering around the building, spurred on by the puppet. It was almost like those old robots were trying to save the kids. Save them? They couldn't, obviously, but still, how were they moving? It was almost like they had been given life
Save
somehow.
the
Did he have something to do with
minors.
that? The following day, the news would report a security guard getting bitten by one of the animatronics during the day shift. Was that bite meant for him?
It's the
William's
bite of
curiosity was stronger
87.
now than his bloodlust.
Was that
He
the
had to learn
bite of
more, but
87?
how? There was no way he'd ever be able to get inside another Freddy's pizzeria. Heck, there was practically no way a Freddy's would ever open again. He needed to create something new, something brand new. He needed to create his own pizzeria.
Due to the massive success, and even more so the unfortunate closing of Freddy Fazbear's Pizza, it was clear that the stage was set, no pun intended, for another contender in children's entertainment.
Circus Baby's Pizza World. This would be the place where he could continue his work. No longer just murdering, experimenting. He needed more kids, and he needed them alive. And knowing that he couldn't show his face on the restaurant floor, he needed a way of remotely capturing his victims and preserving them for his work. With that goal in
Hence sister
mind, he
location.
designed a new breed of animatronic. Their endoskeletons fluid and flexible. He equipped them with sound lures that could mimic voices. They could isolate children. They could incapacitate and contain them with zero direct input from him. It was brilliant. He was brilliant. Far beyond the simple bars and wires of Henry's designs. And the characters he chose for this were uniquely his. His new roster wasn't going to be tainted by Henry's disgusting barnyard bird. Instead, it was back to his characters, his creations, Freddy, Bonnie, Foxy, as well as 2 special ones. The first, Ballora, was an homage to the woman who left him. Now she would never leave him again. The second, the titular baby, was designed with his baby in
Kind
mind.
of
Elizabeth,
creepy.
his youngest child. She would always be Daddy's
Oh, wait.
little girl, the one that listened to him, the one that obeyed until the day that she didn't.
Daddy, why won't you let me play with her? She's so pretty and shiny. Didn't you make her just for me?
We all know.
Oh, are you kidding me?
I'm gonna be on the
More
same.
ads?
Build the island, clean it up, add the tree, rocks, and the
There we
buildings.
go.
The day before Circus Baby's Pizza World opened, she disobeyed. She didn't listen. Left alone with Baby, she got too close. The animatronic ripped in half and swallowed her whole. A scared and confused child fading into eternal darkness. By the time Afton found her, it was too late. She was gone. He immediately canceled the launch of Circus Babies under the guise of a gas leak. But wait, as he sat there at the foot of the stage, he noticed that something was different. The eye color of the robot had changed. Baby had been built with blue eyes, but now they were emerald green, the same color as Elizabeth's. Was she in there? Could this all be connected to the free-moving animatronics that he had seen at Freddy's? He had to know
Wait.
more. His mourning turned to excitement. He had to return to where it all started. 1993. Pathetic. This place was pathetic. Henry had clearly tried to reopen one final time with his old original.
So which death came first? Did crying child die first? Or did Elizabeth die first? My god. Hold on, we need to
Animatronics
watch
so long
more.
ago, but William's damage to the brand had been permanent. These things stank of death. They hadn't been washed in decades. But even if they had, nothing could wash away the stink of murder that haunted these halls. One night, then another, then another. William repeatedly snuck into the old, broken restaurant to lure the living animatronics to him, one by one dismantling them, robbing them of their endoskeletons. The metal had to be the secret. It had to contain the remnants of life
Looks so
itself, but
funky.
he had to know for sure. Leaping out of a room that was invisible to the animatronics programming, he dragged the oversized robotic skeletons back to his underground workshop, back to where Circus Baby watched on with glowing, curious eyes. Eyes that somehow felt alive. Not knowing what else to do, William melted the robotic parts down. 5 animatronic endoskeletons reduced down to one silvery puddle of goo. Could he transfer this living metal to his own creations? He had to try. He picked up a syringe and filled it with the molten metal and injected the goo into Funtime Freddy's twisted, wiry endoskeleton. And suddenly, the coils came to life. Like snakes writhing in a pile, what had once been cold, lifeless metal moved and jolted on its own. He'd done it! He had unlocked the secret to life itself.
Okay, this editing is really
Something was
cool.
clearly wrong. The movements were erratic. They were violent, angry. Baby didn't act this way. She had been calm, collected. This was clearly something else, something mindless and frantic. Perhaps by mixing the souls and then portioning them out, he had created incomplete beasts. He would need to keep testing to truly understand it. He needed more of this remnant. As he searched the old pizzeria one more time for any remaining scraps of metal, the ghosts attacked. His past victims come to collect their due, all led by Cassidy. The five lined up and blocked the door, and Afton's mind reeled. The scientific implications of this were incredible. Ghosts, real ghosts that he could see, all standing against him. But what could they do? What couldn't they do? He panicked as Cassidy approached. How do you stop something that's already dead? Maybe with the thing that resulted in their death in the first place. He would get into his suit like old times. He
The
would
trauma.
regain his power over them just like the day that
Why
they
is he
died.
standing
He
like
was
that?
the genius. He was the one in the suit. He was the one in charge. The spring lock snapped into place. Maybe it was his frantic movements. Maybe it was the leaky abandoned restaurant. Maybe it was just fate coming to collect its due. He didn't know. The only thing he did know was that his brain was suddenly filled with searing white-hot pain as hundreds of metallic pins and gears stabbed into his body from all sides. All he could do was collapse, blood slowly oozing out of the suit and pooling onto the floor around him. It couldn't end like this. It wouldn't end like this. His work was unfinished. Unable to move, his only option was to survive, to live, to keep living. It took days lying in his own blood, but eventually someone found him. A security guard making a normal report. When he saw the animatronics torn apart in the middle of the party room floor, it caused him to file an immediate report of a break-in. An owner would have to come in and claim the damage. And who else would it be other than Henry? Hope jumped in Afton's heart. Henry would see him. They were partners after all. He would be the one to help save him, to get him out of this suit,
kind
to
of
relieve
sabotaged
him from this
him.
tremendous pain. Henry entered the secret room. His eyes fell on Afton sitting there in the pool of red, and Henry, saying nothing, turned and walked away.
This is just to inform all employees that due to budget restrictions, the previously mentioned safe rooms are being sealed at most locations, including this one. Nothing is being taken out beforehand, so if you left anything inside, then it's your own fault. Management also requests that this room not be mentioned to family, friends, or insurance representatives.
And so there Afton would sit, hanging on for 30 years, trapped behind the walls
It's kinda
of an
crazy.
iron will that refused to die. Most of this is things that we already knew, stuff that's been established and re-established time and time again by the games. That said, there are two things that I absolutely have to address. The first and biggest is the placement of Sister Location, or more specifically, Elizabeth's death. To me, evidence in game seems to suggest that it was meant to come before the crying child's death in 1983. The biggest clue to this is that the crying child saw something. Remember what you saw is the phrase that's repeated over and over again by psychic friend Fredbear, aka William Afton speaking through a walkie-talkie in the Fredbear plushie's stomach. But what did he see? Well, I think we can tell based on how the nightmare animatronics are visualized. They have mouths in their stomachs, just like Baby ripping in half at the waist to swallow a kid. There's also the empty girl's room, one presumably left behind by a dead sister. And lastly, it explains why he's scared, and more specifically why Afton wants him scared. He needs his kids to stay away from the animatronics. He doesn't want them getting too close because the last time
this
one of
he
his kids got
was
too close
kind
to a
of a
robot,
good
his
father.
daughter died. That's then why he sets up the nightmares, to scare both Mike and the crying child away from the animatronics from that point forward. That's why books like the Character Encyclopedia outright suggest that we play as the crying child in FNAF 4. That's why he has a nanny cam following the crying child everywhere, so he can keep tabs on his kids when they're out of his sight. He can't let another Elizabeth situation happen. The death of Elizabeth also gives William Afton extra motivation for killing. He's a grieving father. His daughter was taken away from him, so Charlie should die as well. He's lashing out at the world after losing his kids. And again, we know that at least one of his children had to have died prior to Charlie's death, based on the mound of dirt that we see in Midnight Motorist. It also allows Circus Babies to open and close earlier in the timeline, which is how you wind up with Funtime Foxy appearing as Mangle in the FNAF 2 location. Basically, Elizabeth dying first has everything it needs to fit, except for the most important thing, the murder weapon. Why would Afton be building an animatronic with a giant claw on its stomach so early in the timeline? At this point, he just has no motive. It just doesn't make sense prior to 1983. At this point in the story, he hasn't killed anyone, and we know for a fact that the missing children's incident is 1985. So Elizabeth's death coming before any of those events just doesn't work, hence why I placed it where I did in the narrative timeline. Afton's death here is also a bit tricky. We know that he returned to the FNAF 1 location to break down the original animatronics in order to harvest their remnant. We know that he melts down 5 things to become one thing. Candy Cadet makes that very clear. So the 5 things are the 5 endoskeletons from the various animatronics. That would be totally fine if it weren't for one huge problem. On his 5th visit to the pizzeria, Afton gets spring-locked. So either the 5 becoming 1 starts in 1993, but then finishes 30 years later when he re-emerges from the wall to add the last endoskeleton to his pile, or he's had himself some reason to return to the original location after harvesting all the stuff that he can. It's not ideal, but it's the one angle that makes the most sense. William still wasn't back. Weird. Michael knew his father sometimes traveled for work, disappearing for days on end, but usually there was some sort of notice, a phone call, a post-it, something. It's not like Michael and his father were close, far from it, but as a household of 2
They kind of look
men
like
coping with years of
divorce.
tragedy and loss, there was at least some element of communication.
If I had no
They were
idea
united by a name
that they
and a
were
shared pain. This time,
related
though,
as
it
in
was
a
no different. William
father-son
had left nothing.
relationship,
Absence was wrong.
I would
There
have
were no
thought
check-ins, no
they
updates,
were 2
just
gay
silence.
lovers
Something had happened.
who,
If there was one thing Michael knew about his father, it was that he
what's
had
it called?
contingencies, safety
Got a
checks,
divorce?
backup plans. His father was a careful and guarded man. He held his cards close to his chest, and as such, William had prepared him in the event that something like this ever happened. Normally, his father kept his home office locked, but in the event of an unexpected, prolonged absence, Michael had been instructed to enter his father's office and look behind an empty set of shelves mounted in the corner of the room. Rolling his eyes, Michael entered the office. Never fully understood how William was able to spend so many hours of his days locked up in here. There was just nothing to do. Most of this place was empty. He dragged himself over to the shelf in the corner, expecting to find an emergency contact list, a family safety deposit box. But what he actually found there was completely unexpected.
Father, it's me, Michael. I did it. I found it. It was right where you said it would be.
The shelf swung open and revealed a giant industrial elevator, one that led straight down into an underground bunker. But that was impossible. Hidden inside his childhood home was a secret entrance to an enormous underground science lair? It didn't make any sense.
Yeah,
Seriously, it didn't make any sense. And yet, here it was, mapped directly underneath the floor plan of the house that he'd grown up in, lost his brother in, been tortured in. Michael thought that he'd known his father, a prideful, sad, angry man with petty, everyday problems, but clearly he'd been living with a stranger this entire time. His father had secrets. Suddenly, the days of William being locked inside of his office made sense. He'd been here the entire time. Where was here, though? Was this Circus Baby's entertainment and rentals? The Circus Baby restaurant always did seem to be a deeply personal project for Father. A failure of his that cut unusually deep, especially after that first location had to be closed prematurely due to the gas leaks. After that day, Father really did seem to change, to lose himself even more in his work. Clearly, the entrance he had found was some sort of secret back way into the facility, one that required crawling through vents to navigate. His father had been working here, but in secret. Why? And that's when he found her. At the end of the facility, Circus Baby, his father's pride and joy.
Okay,
Except
to be
something
honest,
was
it's
different
kind of
about her.
funny
She wasn't like the others. The way she
that
talked, the stories she told. This wasn't just a robot.
nobody
She was alive
cared as
somehow.
much
And not only was she alive,
when Elizabeth
she also
died.
felt familiar.
I feel like
There's something bad
Clara
inside of
wasn't
me. I'm broken.
really
I can't be
reactive.
fixed. Will you help me?
Was this his sister? William's
When
baby
Elizabeth
girl?
died?
How? Why? What was this place?
Compared to
He
when
dug
Crying
around some
Child
old files
died.
and found blueprints outlining the features of these
Because, like, we
animatronics.
know she
Storage
got really
containers,
depressed.
voice mimicking, parental tracking. And was that a child in Freddy's stomach? Was his father collecting and experimenting on kids? Were all the rumors that he'd heard throughout his past actually true? That the animatronics came to life at night? That there were murders done in all the pizzerias? That his father had somehow been the prime suspect in all of it? Suddenly, Michael's mind flashed back to his persistent nightmares throughout his childhood. Had he been experimented on too? Tears stung in his eyes as anger, fear, and confusion filled his body. His father's secrets were pouring out. William
Is
wasn't
that
just a
one
lame,
meme?
overworked father. He was a monster, toying with life itself. Suddenly, everything clicked. He frantically looked around the room, blinking human heads on poles staring back at him. Green eyes, his sister. Blue eyes, his brother. Closed eyes, his mom, all just staring expectantly. These were meant to be human. William was working down here trying to make believable humans, literally rebuilding the family that they had both lost. The small little girl robots with their British accents roaming the hallways of this underground facility suddenly took on a whole new context.
It's so creepy, to be honest.
Were those meant to be his sister? A replacement for her? A clone? Was William building clones of his sister? They seemed to know him, after all, to react to his presence.
They were all there. They didn't recognize me at first, but then they thought I was you.
He always did have a bit of a resemblance to his father. Michael's mind reeled as the reality of his world crumbled to dust. No, he had to get them out of there. If this really was his sister, heck, if any of these things were human, souls, whatever remnant of the humans that they once were, they needed to be rescued.
They always put us back inside. There's nowhere for us to hide here.
Led by the voice of Circus Baby, he marched through the now empty halls of the Funtime Auditorium. He would lead them. He would protect them. And finally, he would be able to forgive himself for the killing of his brother so many years.
Of course.
Introducing the English test designed for you. Convenient,
Duolingo.
fast, affordable, and trusted by top universities.
You are
The
in
scooper.
the sleeping room now. The scooper only hurts for a moment.
Scooper? That violent extraction arm? Michael had seen that one in the pile of blueprints. Something about heat rendering the magical silver metal inside useless. In reality, prior to getting himself spring-locked and put behind the wall, William's methods had become increasingly sophisticated, with a mechanized arm that could infuse new bodies with the soul. William could finally give and take away life. The only thing he needed were the bodies. But William wasn't the only one looking for bodies, as Michael was about to learn.
But if we looked like you, then we could hide. If we looked like you, then we would have somewhere to go.
Michael was going to be the hero to help these animatronics, all right. He was going to help the haunted tubes and wires of
He's
these
gonna become
animatronics
the
escape,
purple
just
man.
not in the way that he anticipated. His sister had lied to him. Another game of pretend. The scooper plowed forward, digging its extraction arm into his body. As he heard his bones ripping through his flesh, Michael blacked out.
But something is wrong with me. I should be dead, but I'm not.
For the next several months, Michael's life was not his own. He was forced to comply with a tangle of wires and spirits that lived inside of him. His body felt like an overfilled balloon, begging to burst as day by day, week by week, his flesh began to sag and discolor. He was a walking, talking, rotting corpse. Alive, but wishing he wasn't. He was a puppet, a walking shell. And while he did his best to conceal his fate, there was only so much a man filled with robot spaghetti could do. The entity in his ear would eventually leave, but by that point, the damage had been done. His decaying flesh stank, turning him into a literal purple guy. But still, even with no bones, even with rotting purple flesh and begging to die, Michael continued to live. That silvery metal remnant injected by the scooper meant that he couldn't die. His anger also refused to die. What he had seen down there in his sister's location had rocked him to his core. His father had killed and captured dozens. His experiments had killed his sister and then tortured him throughout all his childhood. He was actively trying to build human replicas.
It's kind of
he didn't
crazy
know where his father was, but
that
Michael
he doesn't
knew
have
he was
any
out there
bones.
somewhere.
I've been living in shadows. There is only one thing left for me to do now. I'm going to come find you.
Michael had to correct for the sins of his father. He had to make things right. Michael would burn Fazbear Entertainment to the ground. I mean, what else could you do when your skin was permanently purple? Michael's strategy was simple. He would apply for night security guard positions at the old defunct pizzeria locations. That way, no one ever had to see him or smell him during his shift. And all these old, shuttered locations did need guards. Teenage vandals and squatters were always looking to get inside these abandoned buildings, and yet no one ever really wanted to work an overnight graveyard shift unless they were practically out of options. Enter Mike. One by one, he would take on the job of security guard.
He looks
changing
so
his name each time to
goofy.
ensure that no one was able to follow his paper trail. Once inside, he could tamper with the animatronics and figure out how they worked, writing about his experiences in his security logbook. While there, he would listen to the old tapes where upper management awkwardly welcomed new recruits to their summer jobs, even though he was working there nowhere near the summer months. He heard the gory details of his father's franchise from the outsiders looking in, confused and afraid about what was happening in the walls around them. Sometimes he would see his brother in the form of the golden Freddy suit. It's me appearing on the walls around him. Except now, there was something else there. He was no longer alone. Another angrier presence was
the sprite.
Two spirits were forced to share
I
the
love
same
how they just used the liquefy
It
tool.
was aggressive. Its vengeance wanted to lash out at anyone with the Afton name, anyone who wore a security guard outfit. Over time, Mike worked his way through the old restaurants, the original pizzeria, the bigger, better Freddy Fazbear's. He spent weeks there looking for clues as to his father's whereabouts. Each time at the end of his week's shift, he would then set the location on fire. Remnant can't survive high temperatures after all. So burning away whatever spirit-laden animatronics that still existed inside seemed like a winning strategy. All this revisiting of his past, though, was causing the nightmares to begin again. Hallucinations that brought him back to his childhood. The guilt around killing his brother. His dreams
so
were
dumb.
oddly mixed with the shrill phone calls of the security guards. But it would all be worth it in the end. The goal was to eventually stumble across the one location, the one job that would finally reunite him with his father. Little did Mike know that that day would come sooner than he expected. 2023, an advertisement came across Mike's TV. Fazbear Frights, a new horror attraction inspired by the awful crimes that occurred around Freddy Fazbear's Pizza so many years ago. It made Mike sick. People looking to make a quick buck off the tragedy of others, off his own family. This wasn't a joke or entertainment. Regardless, he had to be a part of it. If this team was combing through his family's history, they might stumble across something that could be useful. And if his father was truly still alive as he suspected, there would be no way that he wouldn't show up here. Maybe finally this could be the final chapter in his family's marathon of tragedy. Mike applied for the job and was immediately handed the keys. Years of doing this had taught him that security guards rarely receive thorough security checks.
Looks human.
Mike looked, they thought it was a costume, on theme for the job. What little they knew.
Hey, glad you came back for another night. I promise it'll be a lot more interesting this time.
For
That
weeks,
was odd.
there
I'm so
nothing,
sorry.
but just as Mike considered giving up, he received the call that he'd been waiting for years.
You're not gonna believe this. We found one. A real one.
Could this finally be him? Sure enough, there he was. William inside his iconic golden Bonnie Springlock suit, only now it was green and decaying with age. And there they were, a small family of broken men finally reunited.
Literally broken
Mike
men.
had always struggled with the phantoms of his past haunting him, but now all the animatronics he'd encountered over the past months, hopping from pizzeria to pizzeria, suddenly sprang to life. Their burned faces haunting him as he tried to keep track of his father on the cameras. It would seem that William's mere presence had put the spirits on high alert. Ultimately, they were harmless, more annoying than anything else, but there was one that felt different from the others, one that was more than just a mere phantom, the security puppet. If he looked at the cameras at just the right moment, he could see it floating there through the halls. He could even see its reflection in the water pooled on the ground. It would seem like he wasn't the only one there on a mission. While he was dealing with Springtrap, Michael assumed that this one was likely dealing with the spirits of this place, finally setting them to rest. Hopefully this means a happier day for all of us, Mike thought to himself. And in that moment, he felt the air around him release, like pressure being let out of a bottle. The building sighed, as if 5 spirits had finally been allowed to move on. He had the sense that his brother was a part of them. He rigged the wiring inside the building to misfire, and the dry, desiccated walls erupted in flames. It is finished.
I love how I love how the script is written. Reads like a novel.
Except
I really like it.
Was not. Somehow, through sheer force of will, Afton remained. He had survived, and Mike would need to find a new way of finishing off his father. Luckily, the solution would present itself later that year. Not from Mike, but from another victim that had been left in his father's wake.
We're talking about becoming a Fazbear Entertainment franchisee, restaurant ownership and management, something almost anyone can do with a limited degree of success. You are now the face of the newly rebranded Freddy Fazbear's Pizza.
Fazbear Entertainment as a brand had been closed for years. William had been stuck in a suit and a wall. The only person who legally could bring the franchise back was Henry, but he'd largely pulled out of the franchise around the time of his father's disappearance. Something was up. Surely this had to be some kind of a trick, right? Mike, doing what he did best, applied for a franchise and immediately got the job. There was just one thing out of the ordinary.
It's kind of
Paragraph 4.
If you
what's
are
it called?
playing this tape, that means that not only have you been checking
Skilled
outside at the end of every shift,
to be
as you
able
were instructed to do,
get
but also that you have found something that meets the
hired on the
criteria
spot.
of your special obligations
That's crazy.
under paragraph 4.
No employment contract he'd ever signed required him to keep special lookout for independently moving animatronics outside the restaurant. Now he knew something was up here. Henry was luring them all back. Rather than trying to go to them, like Mike had done for years, Henry was doing the opposite. He was putting them all under the same roof. He was finishing them off for good. Mike knew this wasn't meant to be a restaurant. It was meant to be a prison, a a containment vessel, a locked box meant to trap them all in so they could finally end the madness. It took a few nights, but eventually everyone was there. His father, the puppet, the robot spaghetti that had once violated his body, and his sister,
Violated his
devoted to serve
body.
the man that had once gotten her killed. It was time. He had been instructed to seal the doors and leave, but while he locked everything down, he didn't move on. If this was truly meant to be the end, if the remnant needed to be washed away, he needed to be a part of that.
This is where your story ends. And to you, my brave volunteer, who somehow found this job listing not intended for you, although there was a way out planned for you, I have a feeling that's not what you want. I have a feeling that you are right where you want to be. And to you monsters trapped in the corridors, be still and give up your spirits. They don't belong to you. For most of you, I believe there is peace and perhaps more waiting for you after the smoke clears. Although for one of you, the darkest pit of hell has opened to swallow you whole. So don't keep the devil waiting.
That sentence is kind of...
Afton Legacy died with all of them trapped inside of a literal box. As the flames danced around the office, Mike, for the first time in decades, was happy. But William wasn't gone yet. Although the darkest pit of hell was open and waiting for him, something or someone wouldn't allow him to move on. Instead, he found himself locked in moments from his past. The pizzeria, his son's room, his underground bunker. It was as if his brain's neurons were all firing at once, overloaded, mixing and matching all his biggest fears, regrets, failures. What was this place? How did he get here? He called out into the silence. Then they started coming. Without warning, animatronics, both new and old, began to jump out at him, bite him, rip him limb from limb. The pain was immeasurable. Make it stop! Make it stop! William, for the first time, longed for death, an end to this torture. Just as it felt like he couldn't take it anymore, everything was quiet again. It was as if the world had been reset. There was a brief moment of quiet, and then the onslaught began again. Dozens of faces from his past all focused on him. A waking nightmare that he couldn't escape from. More pain, more ripping. It was his own personal hell, but why? Why couldn't he just die? And then he saw them. A group of characters he never thought he'd see again. Those janky, stolen characters that had started everything. The mediocre melodies. It had all started to go wrong once Henry had made them. But mixed in with their obnoxious southern drawls, William heard something else. It was barely a whisper, but he could just make out the words.
He tried to release you. He tried to release us. But I'm not gonna let that happen. I will hold you here. I will keep you here. No matter how many times they burn us.
That voice. He knew that voice, but from where?
Oh, Halloween Chica.
The
Halloween
one he should
Nightmare
have killed.
Chica.
William felt bad. He'd done a lot of awful things, but there was always the one that stood out. Not Charlie, his drunken act of revenge. Not Susie, his first true murder, no. Instead, it was the one that he had lost control with. The one that he had broken beyond repair for no good reason other than because he could. The one that he'd stuffed inside the golden bear that his partner used to wear. Cassidy. They were back. Now they were trying to punish him, to make him suffer like he'd made them suffer. It was almost like William and Cassidy's souls had been locked together, fused by a collective rage and spite, each refusing to move on. But while Cassidy was so focused on taking revenge, they actually did the one thing that would be the downfall for so many others. They kept William alive. Even though fire should have destroyed the remnant that was coursing through his being, Cassidy kept William breathing, paving the way for his escape. William's will was so strong, his soul so powerful that he managed to put a part of himself inside the circuitry that housed the spring-locked suit. And there his consciousness lay, inside a single circuit board, waiting for someone to find him and set him free. A person that no one would suspect. You might have known.
Aw, the ad.
Might have noticed that I was vague about the dates, and there's a good reason for that. I don't know them. There is no
You're so
good
real
way
for
for
that,
me to make them
Samantha.
fit in. Here's what I do know. We know with a high amount of certainty that Michael Afton is the character that we play as up until Ultimate Custom Night. Mike Schmidt and Fritz Smith, the security guards for FNAF 1 and FNAF 2 respectively, get fired for, quote, tampering with the animatronics and odor. So weird connection between the two of them, right? But now, look at the phantom animatronics that are haunting us in FNAF 3. They use models from both FNAF 1 and FNAF 2, meaning whoever is sitting in that security guard chair, Fazbear Frights, they have have to have seen both locations and their animatronics. And that's not all. Their designs are burnt. It's a weird detail in the game, and it's something that the character encyclopedia repeatedly calls attention to. The burned texture for these phantom animatronics. Why is that so unusual though? Fazbear Frights is the first time in the franchise that we hear about anything burning down. From that point on in the story, it's like the characters turn pyro and are suddenly setting fires left and right. But for the first 3 games, nothing ever catches fire. The animatronics are just moved or repurposed in some way. So when did they burn? And why would our security guards see them as being burned? Someone has to have been going location to location, setting these places on fire, purging the sins of the past. We know we're definitely playing as Mike and Sister Location in FNAF 6 based on the in-game dialogue. And in FNAF 4, there's an Easter egg where we can hear the phone call from Night 1 of FNAF 1, meaning that whoever's in that bedroom has heard the recording as a security guard. We also know that Mike has seen the nightmare animatronics based on his drawings in the security log.
Oh my god,
so
it's
overall, there is
1 a.m.
solid evidence that connects all of FNAFs 1 through 6. You'll also notice how the character encyclopedia doesn't have a page for Mike Afton. This thing has a page for Chocolate Bunny Bonnie, but not Michael. Some tells me they don't want us to confirm how many games he's been in, because that would confirm too much of the theory. In short, this gives us an incredibly compelling and complete narrative. Mike as our protagonist, and William, his father, as our antagonist. Mike accidentally kills his brother in Fredbear's mouth, which begins our story and sets William down his pathway of destruction. Mike is then haunted by the guilt of his past and is looking to make things right across the rest of the games. In Sister Location, he learns what his father's been up to and realizes what he has to do to correct it. After failing to finish the job in FNAF 3, he ultimately helps Henry end it all in FNAF 6. It is great. It is a clean narrative. There is just one problem: timing. Mike's quest can't really start until he's been down to Sister Location, seen Baby, and gotten himself scooped. That's when he finds out about Afton's secret life. It's also when he's gonna start to smell, because, you know, he's a walking, talking, rotting corpse. And we know that he's not going down into the bunker until the Funtime animatronics have been made, Freddy's has been closed, and Afton is out of the picture. That all should be happening post-1993, after William is sealed behind a wall. But that then presents us with a few problems. Afton has already dismantled the original animatronics as we see in the FNAF 3 minigames. How are those things getting burned if they're already deconstructed? But more importantly, we see FNAF 2 paychecks with the date 1987. That is way earlier than I think it can be. To be fair, Fritz Smith's pink slip on night 7 doesn't have a date, but it's a bit weird to say that the first few nights are in 1987, and then employee number 3 is hired on years after the restaurant closes. Fazbear Entertainment was dead.
There is no need for you to return to work next week, as Fazbear Entertainment is no longer a corporate entity.
All debts had been paid, all assets redistributed. The company was outright dissolved. Even the memories of the horrors that had happened there started to fade away in the public consciousness. The people were gone too. William was dead. Henry was gone. A whole generation of young Emilys and Aftons had lost their lives to the horrors of the pizzeria. All of them collateral damage to the man in the bunny suit. Everyone the
man
company
behind
ever
the
touched
slaughter
was dead and gone. Well, all except one.
Pay your child support, you deadbeats! I'm keeping the diamond ring. I also set the house on fire!
I also set the house on fire.
Things with William were good. They'd had the perfect home, a thriving business, the ideal family. But shortly after their youngest son died, things started to change. William had become distant, lost in his work, obsessive. She had watched him change from this irritatingly brilliant man that she had fallen in love with to a drunken monster struggling to hold himself together. And despite her trying to reach out to him in those desperate days, he was just too far gone.
I'm so tired. I should probably sleep.
Admit it, you wanted to let me in.
For her sake, she had to leave the relationship, and from there she largely faded into obscurity. A mystery from William's past, a footnote in his history, and that was fine for her. She wanted to leave that part of her life
30
behind.
more
She tried to move
minutes.
forward, never wanting to hear the name Freddy Fazbear again. A time defined by mistakes and broken promises. But then, the paperwork started to arrive. As Fazbear Entertainment began to close as a corporate entity, suddenly her mail was flooded with notifications,
I think we have
requests,
30 more
obligations.
minutes.
She had been there since the beginning,
We have
helping William in the
time.
early days of his business, and now, as a shareholder and sole living member of the Afton family, all copyrights and trademarks of both Afton Robotics and Fazbear Entertainment passed on to her. Memories of this past life that she had long left behind. Looking at the blueprints, the contracts, the memos, she felt old wounds begin to reopen. The regrets of a happy family that had been torn away from her. William had always been brilliant. That's what had attracted her to him in the first place. But he'd also been too blinded by obsession and tried. He was too jealous, too petty, too unable to actually see a bigger picture. But now, holding the paperwork that contained decades of heartbreak and trauma, she realized it was her turn. She was holding the power. This was her chance. And one thought resonated in her head. I will put them back together. I will put them all back together. She would be the one to rebuild
You're so gross,
to rebuild the
man.
pieces of that shattered life, to reclaim the kids that Fazbear had stolen from her. But how? Looking at William's work now laid out before her, she knew that he had been onto something, collecting Remnant, robotic humanoids, digital conscience transference. The pieces were all in place, they were just scattered, fragmented. It was almost like there were too many ideas going in too many different directions. It was such an important idea that she reiterated that point to herself. There were too many ideas going in too many different directions. That said, there had to be a way to save it all. She just needed to put it all back together. But how? To rebuild her family, she would first need to rebuild the franchise that had stolen them away from her. With ownership over the characters, their licenses, the technology patents, and the Fazbear name, she converted the corporation back to an LLC, a structure for smaller businesses that are usually family-owned. The irony was fitting. From there, she would need Remnant, and lots of it. Remnant was the key. Clearly, in the later years of his life, William had been using Circus Babies Entertainment and Rentals as a remnant farm, sending robots to kids' birthday parties in the hopes of nabbing bits of the stuff here and there. But clearly, it wasn't enough. He had, what, like 4, maybe 5 animatronics going out every week? No. It was a decent idea, but to get the Remnant they required, it needed scale. Dozens, hundreds of animatronics, all out there, all gathering Remnant from unsuspecting customers. But to do that would require help, something William would never ask for. William had kept everything in-house. His obsession with control limited him. Clara, though, she wasn't nearly that precious. A plan like this required partners, people outside of Fazbear to do the heavy lifting. So she contacted a mid-sized delivery company, DLZ Shipping Solutions, to help build replicas of all the original animatronics. And with meal delivery apps being all the rage, why not an animatronic delivery?
Okay. I think I should sleep. I know we're like really close to the end, but I'm really tired. And it's 1:15. Probably should have started earlier. It's fine though. Okay. I'm going to go to sleep. Oh, I said it. Okay. Thank you everyone for watching me ramble about FNAF and watching with me. I'm going to bed. Good night. Goodbye. Thank you for watching.